Let's get salty!
Hi everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and we're no longer recording ahead of time. I am back from France where we won the Hearthcraft event with Protoss against all the odds. Really fun event. I don't know if I'll do like a recap on it, probably not, but we'll talk about it on my streams and stuff if you want to come hang out. Really cool event by Blizzard where, yeah, I got to compete and you guys hopefully got the drops out of it. And I'm going to recommend, I had said when I come back, I would have an updated recommended deck list. And yeah, this is much different than the one we had like less than 24 hours of data. So I'm going to go through standard and wild, take a look at the best decks you can expect to climb with, and a lot of new stuff is playable. There's some old stuff too, unfortunately, but yeah, maybe that'll get deleted at some point. Well, rotation will take care of at least one of the decks. And we do have our giveaway going on for that Kerrigan portrait. I'm going to extend it to like the end of the week since just my content was not the normal type of thing while I was gone. So we'll announce the giveaway winner at the end of the week. If we manage to hit another 1,000 subscribers, we'll add another mythic Kerrigan to enter that giveaway. Like and comment in the video link description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. And yeah, as long as you're subbed to the channel, you like, comment, all that stuff, you're entered. Anyways, let's get into the decks, and I will have like a meta like review of everything like we normally do of the mini set. I've just barely been able to play it. I have barely, like outside of the event and like a few minutes on like the plane or like in the airport, I've barely played any Hearthstone. So I'm planning on streaming it today on twitch.tv/Zeddy, playing lots of ladder, trying a lot of these decks out. So starting off, we have what looks to be the best trending Starship Shaman deck is the infinite version, where you have basically Fizzle in here. You can triangulate the snapshot. You can also like shutter block it and then go like crazy with tons of Gym Rainers. And the whole like Starship package for Shaman is really nice. You have good early game, and like Missile Pod, really good against those early Zerg boards. Not amazing after they like been infested and all that, but we're even running Hex. We're hard running Hex in today's Hearthstone to hit those like big death rattle, like, you know, the death rattle, that infester from Deathlight and other minions like that. And this deck, at least at Legend, seems to be the highest win rate with a pretty good sample size. So one I definitely wanted to recommend. Whether it's the best version out there, maybe the more conventional one's a bit better, but we already recommended that one, so we could try this one out for this video. The second best deck, by all means, Dungar Druid, still really good. Just delete this. Like, can we just move on from playing Dungar and winning? Like, you just want to ramp and hit Dungar. If you hit it, you win. If you don't, you probably lose. That's the deck, but it's consistent enough that it works. Like, I don't know, really frustrating play pattern. And if you have the cards, you can absolutely take this list and climb with it. Just expect maybe some salty friend requests and all that. And I believe there's 0 new cards in this. Like, there's just no point. And your Zilliax is the virus module, perfect module. The whole, you know, Unkilliax you bring back with Hydration Station. We've talked about that deck enough. Same with Weapon Rogue, no new cards. This one, I'm not as keen for them to like straight up just nerf right away. Like, they could like nerf the Pirate or whatever. Again, no new cards, it just goes face. It's super unfun, but almost all of this deck rotates in a couple of months. Quick pick, all the weapon buffs all rotate. So I wonder if they'll do anything, because there is a balance patch we will be expecting probably next week. There's usually 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks after a content drop. I'll talk about that in a future video too. We're way behind on stuff, so I gotta try and catch up. Normally I'm reporting on stuff all the time, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Weapon Rogue's really good. Again, super polarizing. You destroy certain decks and then you just get destroyed by certain decks. But overall, it's good enough that it's one of the best performing decks out there. I think the remainder of the decks, though, all new. So the best Deathlight deck, and Deathlight is one of the best decks out there, probably the most popular. More popular than Shaman. Double Frost, I don't know if it's more popular, but it does have the best win rate. Basically because you could go like with Horn of the Winter, you can play Infestor earlier, like play, let's say, Brittlebone Buccaneer on 3, and then play Horn of the Winter or whatever, like get your mana back, right? And play not the Brood Queen, but play the Infestor, or you just have more flexible plays and getting the Yodeler out on it. It's literally the only reason to go Double Frost, right? It's the only card in there because this whole deck is the Infestor. right? Like Deathlight is basically get the infestor, get an unkillable board, murder your opponent, and if that fails, you know, Kerrigan can do the trick, Viper can disrupt. That's the deck, and it's doing very, very well because the infestor is insane. And yeah, once that death rattle goes off, you can't silence the aura. It's an aura. It's not hand buffing, deck buffing. It's an aura, which makes it way more powerful than I originally thought. I will say, I thought it was kind of weak. It turns out it's one of the best cards in the entire mini set. Zerg Rainbow also really good, really close in numbers. Like this deck has a bit more like sustainability. You have like Airlock Breach, which can gain you some health, but overall pretty similar deal, right? You're playing your Zergs, again, it's about Infestor. That's why the other versions, like, it utilizes Infestor a little bit better. That's why the win rate seems to be a bit better, but there's a bit more late game validity to this deck, I feel like. And we got double mind control tech. What an odd meta where I like how mind control tech, as the year has gone along, has become more and more popular, and it makes me more and more salty because it's such like an unfun card. Why would you buff one of the most toxic cards ever? But we'll see if it's in the core set next year. It was just added back this year. But yeah, Zerg Rainbow does seem to be doing the trick, and maybe if like double MC tech seems a bit much, you could run like double Yodeler instead, right? One MC tech, one Yodeler if you want to mess around with that at all. Starship Warrior also doing pretty good. It's the whole hydration thing, right? Going infinite, but with this version, we had our deck video yesterday, super outdated, right? Like I didn't have Boom Boss, I didn't have like Fizzle, ETC. I don't think we even had that. And this is like MC tech, Kill Jaden, Odin. Yeah, pretty greedy deck, but the win rate's pretty good on it. So if you want to play like a greedy control warrior, yes, we're back to an age where Brawl is worth playing with all these Zerg decks, right? Board clears are at a premium in this meta. And yeah, there's a lot of new cards in here, a lot of old cards, but something that you could give a go. And again, Ziliax is the whole virus module thing, so you can bring it back and do the whole thing with Hydration Station. Hero Power Druid, breaking the meta. It's popped up. I'm gonna have a video on that. I'll try and get some gameplay tomorrow. Again, on my stream, if you want to hang out, twitch.tv/Zeddy, or just check out the gameplay video later on in the upcoming week. Yeah, Hero Power Druid, they basically, I haven't made a video on this yet because again, I was out of the country. Groovy Cat has been patched buff to work with Artanis. So Artanis gets that attack buff on both a minion and your hero. So this deck is trending well. The win rate's actually really good. This is like, I doubt it's like super optimized, but yeah, you got your Groovy Cat, got Astral Phaser in here for like removal. You can make the Death Rattle go dormant for Deathlight, which is very relevant because again, that's really meta warping. And like, again, MC Tech's Bob's, Leroy's trying to smork down. Chrono Boost gives you a charger that smorks down. Sing along, buddy. Like you can get a lot of damage from that hero power. And yeah, the deck, the numbers I'm looking at are solid. Like it's a solid positive win rate. So if you want to try out some hero power, I guess Protoss Druid, it's got a Protoss card. Give it a go. You got Pylons too, right? You can cheat out Chrono Boost. Is there anything else that's even I don't think there is. It's just good enough for that. And the hero card, of course, right? So yeah, it is doing pretty darn well. And again, I'll try the video on that, like, maybe tomorrow, but probably the day after. I don't know. I don't even know how jet lagged I am yet. I literally just got back like an hour ago, and the first thing I do is record a video. I have problems. It's called Hearthstone. I can't get enough. Anyways, Discover Zerg Hunter seems to be the way to go for Hunter. Again, really positive win rate on this. It's not all in on the Zergs like a lot of the other Zerg decks. You have, of course, like the best card, Spawning Pool, but Hydralisk can do an incredible amount of damage. This card's pretty nutty, and you can discover multiple versions of them, right? With Rangari Scout, of course, Artanis Kerrigan can win games on their own, and this runs like Location. So Seaside Giant, which I forgot was a card, I swear. Everybody forgot this was a card, almost everybody. And like Location Warlock, we'll talk about that in a second, uses it. But yeah, Hunter uses it because you have Parrot Sanctuary and you have Spawning Pool, which just gets it going really fast. They're both cheap and can be destroyed pretty quickly. So something to look out for. ETC is Evolution Chamber for some reach, Fizzle if you want to go infinite, and Mind Control tech popping up a lot there. But yeah, that does seem to be the best hunter deck so far. And yes, I was so unbelievably wrong about Location Warlock. It's a legit deck. Like, there's multiple versions that are doing well. I'm going with the one, I think this is the one I faced at the Hearthcraft event for the most part. Ziliak's got Haywire module, perfect module, but yeah, just destroying those locations, it's fast enough that you can get 8/8s up pretty well. Consume is a ton of healing. This was a card where I'm like, if there's enough location support, this is pretty good. It's a ton of healing. Like, you can't get smart down that well. And yeah, there's enough locations. You got Spawning Pool, you have Forge of Wills, you have Horizon's Edge because of the tourist card. Like, there's plenty, and you can get out Seaside Giants and Forge of Wills them, and then you have, you know, Sargeras for your late game. And I don't think this version runs Wheel of Death. I feel like you can. Some people run Wheel of Death. You could consider that if you're running into matchups like that, but this meta is very aggressive, so Wheel of Death might be out of the question, but something you could consider. And yeah, this deck is legit. I'm gonna try and get a gameplay video on this soon as well, because I just want to play this. This looks pretty freaking rad, and I'm pretty sure in my video I said, like, these all seem so terrible, so you know it's going to be good, right? And yeah, it ends up being good. Like, all the cards are seeing play. I love that. I love when the whole community is wrong on that. It's really cool, and I'm not really recommending this deck. It's pretty bad, but I gotta put it in there. The deck that won this trophy, Protoss Priest, it's okay, right? Like, it was basically Amenthal Priest if you watched any of the games, because it's insane, and I always struggled just to get Mothership value because my hand was always full. But Amenthal is such a good card. It just wins games, right? And the idea is, yeah, like, get early on. You really want to cheat out like multiple sentries. Like, I just throw a hallucination, synchronize on them, no problem. Like, you don't want to save that for motherships, because motherships give you a ton of value in just one, right? You don't really need that many. A couple will be good enough, and then you're off to the races, right? So, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna try and get a video on this, you know, the deck that won me the Hearthcraft event or something. I enjoyed it. I'll be honest, I enjoyed it. I kind of like Priest, okay? I kind of like it at times, especially again when I get the trophy, which is, I just think it's really cool. If you want to take a look, by the way, Hearthstone, StarCraft, and I don't really know how that's related to StarCraft, but hey, I'll take it. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's the standard decks for Wild. There's not much changed up, but there's one deck that runs new cards we'll talk about. Shadow Priest, same old, go face. Blake Arts, go face. Hit spells, go face. It's literally it, right? We've talked about it a billion times. Libram Paladin, get your cards to 0 mana, play them, lots of stats. Rebuke, Cold Feet, they can't play. You kill them with Crusader or Glow Sticks. You know, GG, fun, right? Yeah. Read a Holy Wrath Paladin, play your yellow cards, survive, Polka, Holy Wrath, 100 damage, pretty good. Our ETC has Seafloor Savior, Timeout, Holy Wrath, still a really good deck, still does well. Pretty expensive one though, lots of legendaries, so if you got the cards, it's cool, but yeah, most people will not be able to play that deck. Big Shaman, anybody can play this deck. It requires 0 IQ for the most part. Just, you know, cheat out your Muckmorpher or Ancestor's Call at a big minion and win, or not. Yeah, that's basically it, right? Like, there's not much else to this deck. You could triangulate to get some, like, try and find your Ancestor's Calls or whatever, but overall, it's a pretty toxic, silly deck. But the new one, okay, we'll go a little bit more in depth on the new one. Reno Zerg Hunter, someone, I think on the Chinese server, like, really high legend, like 38 and like 11 playing Reno Zerg Hunter. We don't even play, like, it's more on the aggressive line, so we don't have like the 10 mana Reno. Hell, ETC has Dino Tamer Brand in it, right? You don't even hard run the Brand. We got Flare and Serpent Plume, Zehi, I guess, probably for the Druids or just Disruption. And yeah, play the aggressive curve and play your Zergs out, and it seems to be doing all right. It's not a ton of new cards in here, but it's a lot more than, you know, any other deck in Wild. It's got Kerrigan, it's got some cool cards, so if you're looking for just something different in Wild, this looks like it's playable, so maybe give it a go. Anyways, I probably should get some sleep. I've been up for like 24 hours traveling, but I want to get this video up for you guys, get those decks for you guys to play throughout the week, and hopefully we get back to news as normal on the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.